Well, I train here in Manchester at the Velodrome 5 days a week. So I'll have a morning training session and also an afternoon training session. In the morning it's usually gym training, a lot of Olympic lifts, power cleans and a lot of squats and those sort of things. And then usually from 2 till 5 in the afternoon I have a track session. And also on Sundays I have maybe track and road, and the road is mainly for recovery purposes. And at the weekend I only have to do a recovery ride, so I have 1.5 days off a week. I don't know. I think I've been blessed. Someone's been very kind to me. I think I've trained very hard for a long time, and I've been track racing since I was 9 years old, so it's always been a hobby of mine. And my father is a very keen cyclist and very competitive himself. So for me, I always wanted to be really good at something, and track cycling was an opportunity for me to really focus on something and to work at being the best. I feel for me the most important thing to sort of lead me forward is I always think when I'm training, make sure that I do everything exactly correct as well as possible, because if I don't do it properly then somebody in another country will do it and they're going to beat me. So I always feel it's important to do everything as fully and as correctly as possible. Well, I think the training plan will probably start next year towards the next Olympics. This year it's difficult because obviously we haven't had an off-season to prepare and put the groundwork in. So this year the pressure is not so much for me, and I can just relax and do the World Championships with whatever form I have on the day. And then next year then I will be concentrating to building towards the goal in 2012. I mean, it will be, you know, the greatest honour to be part of the home Olympic Games, and for me I think I will never experience anything as great as that in my sporting career. So I will keep my fingers crossed that I will be selected come 2012. It's hard for me because there's so many young girls now wanting to follow in my footsteps, and the facilities and the equipment we have for the team is so good that it doesn't take long for them to improve very quickly. So I have to always be, you know, pushing forward to try and be better. For me, I think the biggest factor in my improvement, I think, over the last 4 years from Athens, which was a bit of a disappointment to me, was mainly building my confidence. I did a lot of work with a psychologist actually who really helped me to put my goals and ambitions into perspective and order, and really helped me develop psychologically to be stronger and to be less affected by what other people say or how they perceive me, and more focus on what I want. Which sounds very simple, but I was always very worried about how people would look at me and what they would think of me, and I would always, you know, I'm not a very big sprinter. You know, a lot of people thought that I was wasting their time because I was too small and too thin to be powerful, and they thought, oh, you know, and the fact that I've always been a bit of a girly girl, you know, I like makeup, I like doing my hair, that they thought maybe I wasn't taking it seriously, and that upset me because I always felt like I was at a disadvantage because I wasn't, you know, more like a tomboy. But for me, I think it's important to find a way that it's possible to do it any way you like, really. There isn't a set rule, and if you truly believe that you can do it and you have the right people supporting you, then anything is possible. And I feel that for myself, I've made a difference within track cycling in the UK, because I've proved that you don't have to be the stereotype of what people are looking for in order to achieve something. And I feel for myself that's probably one of the biggest rewards for me, is knowing that I've done it in my own way, rather than what, you know, people always assume to be the right way. Hopefully I will be in very good form, and I would very much like to be on top of the podium in London.